pride and glory. Let's get right to it, shall we? Hello again, J-Spot peeps. Welcome back to the J-Spot. I'm your host, Mr. J. And thank you once again for spending some of your valuable time here with me in the J-Spot. And for those of you who are stopping by for the first time, welcome. Please subscribe if you have not already. And for those of you who have, thank you so much. Give us a thumbs up, drop a comment, and make sure you share this with your family and friends and hit that notification bell so that you can be notified when I upload content going forward. As you know, and for some of you who don't, this platform is dedicated to discovery, rediscovery, resurrection, and purpose, all from a spiritual standpoint, which I am dedicated to. However, there will be times, because I'm a social justice advocate at my core, that I will upload comment about social injustice, racial injustice, political injustice, and so forth. I was once a counselor intern for substance use disorder. I still work in the field, but no longer as a counselor. There are times when I will facilitate a group, but that is not my main job. As a counselor, the main objective of a counselor is to find the X factor for a client, help a client discover his X factor. What caused them to begin drug use of any kind? And I use an example that I came up with called the nail in the tire syndrome. And how that works is, say for instance, you're driving down the road, your tire goes flat. You get out and you look and you see that there's a nail in your tire. But instead of addressing the nail, you just go put air in your tire. 2 or 3 days later, your tire's flat again. And you continue doing that until one day your rim is just ruined and you can't ride it anymore. So now you've got two problems. And as a metaphor to this drug use, it's the same thing. Until you address the issue that caused you to start using the drug, you're just going to keep coming back to rehab. You're just putting air in your life. As soon as the air runs out, you relapse, you come back. But after a while, unfortunately, some people ruin the rim of their life. They can't ride it anymore. And it's a painful experience. But the premise, that's the premise of what I'm speaking about. But what my topic is today is to talk about how America as a whole is so afraid of addressing what the real problem is in this country because of the pain that it causes. And one of the 12 steps it talks about of the 12 steps of recovery, there's a question that it asks, I believe in step 1, that says, what pain are you trying, and I'll paraphrase, what pain is it you're trying to avoid by not doing a self-assessment? What is the pain that you're trying to avoid? And I tell clients, and I'll tell anyone this, sometimes in order to heal, you have to be hurt. For instance, if you break your leg and you got a compound fracture in your leg, you go to the doctor or the hospital, they're going to break your leg again in order to heal it, to set it. If you have a headache and you go to the doctor complaining of severe headaches and he sends you to get a CAT scan and there's a tumor in your head, he's not going to kiss your forehead, he's going to cut you. He is going to cut you. In order to heal, sometimes you have to be hurt. And I'm afraid, for all intents and purposes, from what I've seen, America is afraid to be hurt, and therefore it will never heal. You have people in the white community, because this, when confronted with racism, they get offended. Even though their actions are telling everybody in the world that's what you're doing. You may not be doing it on a conscious level, but subconsciously that's what you're doing. You talk to America about reparations, they don't want to revisit that. Oh, forget about it, get over it. But everybody else in the world that's been hurt by something, they're the first ones to run and try to help them retrieve reparations. But not us. You get people on YouTube talking about, that wasn't me, that was my ancestors. Yeah, but you're benefiting from it. The very acts of your ancestors that oppressed black people in this country for so long, you're benefiting from that. Your mediocrity has gotten you to places on the ladder where black superiority and education and accomplishment keeps them at the bottom rung and sell them to the middle of the ladder. And if we are placed above at the top of the ladder, we're, it had to be affirmative action. It had to be DEI, things that black people didn't benefit from more than white women did. White women benefited from both of those things more than blacks. But again, it's the denial. No one wants to admit that they got a nail in their tire. America is afraid to admit, afraid to go underneath the scalpel, under the knife, in order to be healed. America, you have to be cut. You have to be willing to go under the knife and get the operation that you need in order for you to heal. But instead of you addressing the nail in the tire, you go out and you vote to put more nails in the tire. And now that the nail in the tire, now that your tire is going flat, you want everybody to come out and stop at the side of the road and help you fix your tire. And you're mad because no one's doing it. You're mad because the guy that you voted in is ruining your rim. And you want everyone else to stop on the side of the road and help you fix your tire and risk getting run over by the train or the truck that's barreling down the highway with no one behind the wheel. So what do, America? When are you going to go under the knife? When are you going to go to the correct shop and get the nail out of your tire? Because as long as you're riding that tire the way it is, you're going to continue to run over the people that you say you want to help you. Pride and glory. Pride and glory. Because you consider yourself a superior man. Because you consider yourself superior. You think that you can ride that tire and ride that rim until it breaks and then get everybody else to help you fix it. When you're the one behind the wheel. You're the nail in the tire. You are the nail in the tire. You are the tumor in the head. You are the broken leg. And until you accept the fact that you are going to have to hurt before you heal, everybody is going to suffer. Thanks again, J-Spot peeps, for spending some of your valuable time here with me in the J-Spot. Thank you again for those of you who have subscribed. And for those of you who have not, please do so. Give us a thumbs up. Drop a comment. Share this content with your family and friends. And please make sure you hit that notification bell to be notified of further content when I upload going forward. And please come back to see me, because we have a lot more discovering to do and a lot more purpose to pursue. In the meantime, peace. Pride and glory. A man who died was standing in a line in front of some people with some others behind. He had no idea of why he was there, no idea at all of which he was aware. In vain he tried to make conversation, but all seemed deaf to his futile oration. Try as he might, he gained no one's attention, not even when his own name he'd mentioned. Then to his surprise, he was head of the line. He'd not even noticed where had gone the time. He looked up and noticed a man watching him, and suddenly his smile, it did fade and dim. The man had on his face an ominous look, and there in his lap a voluminous book. Across many pages his eyes they did skim, and the more that he read them, the more he grew grim. Then finally he asked of the man standing in line, "What doth say this book about your lifetime? Do these pages say something of what you should fear? Do you now understand why you're standing here? What did you do with the life that you had? Did you do something good or do something bad? I'll give you one chance for you to explain, but remember that here your lies are in vain." The man said, "I'll tell you just what I did. I realize that here the truth can't be hid. But please understand, sir, please if you can, that I saw myself a superior man. I slaughtered a people to rob them of land, told them to call themselves Native American, burned them to death while they were asleep, cleared out some space for my cattle and sheep. I hated others that were not like me, enslaved them in chains, took their liberty, raped their women, and en masse lynched their men, took pictures of it with my family and friends. Told people I was a God-fearing man, always had Bible and gun in my hand. What's even worse, and what's even more sad, I thought less of your children than I did of a flag. But don't judge me too harsh from where you sit. I'm racist, misguided. Those truths I admit. But if you want to know why I'm really on trial, I've learned how to hate since I was a child. My parents taught hate in our home like a fable. They fed it to me as a meal at our table. It was my entree, it was my dessert. My milk and my honey were insult and hurt. I've heard enough, said the man on the throne. I condemn you to hell, but not you alone. I condemn all the people that share in your story, your haughtiness, pride, and your foolish vainglory. I never approved of the life that you lived, never approved of the things that you did. What disgusted me most was your absence of shame, especially the things that you did in my name. The commandment says, have no God before me, no statues, no people, no flags flying free. I am the Father of all life on earth. You had no permission to decide what it's worth. I put you on earth to serve one another, not to enslave and murder your brother. I gave you, as I said, your one chance, you see. So go now, depart. I never knew thee.